Hello and welcome, crafty friends. This is Amanda with Crafting with Amanda, and I decided that I love the Mystery Envelope Challenge so much with Makers with Heart that I would do my own with Crafting with Amanda. So in my customer group, I sent out an invitation for anybody that wanted to participate to let me know, and gave them kind of some guidelines and deadline of when they would need to have the stuff back. And I was thinking I would like to have 10 or 12 people, and I only got a handful, and I'm sure it's because of summer and everything else going on. But you can see here I'm showing the pieces that I sent to everybody. And I did have shimmer trim that I sent to other people, but in my pack that I had left on my desk, I didn't have the piece of shimmer trim, so I didn't use that. But I did say that they could use black and white cardstock, and then whatever they used for their base was fine. Like, it was fair game. It didn't have to be just black or white cardstock. It could be anything. So here I'm looking at my pieces, and I found this one photo of us heading out on the ferry. You can't tell it's the ferry, but I know it's the ferry to Mackinac Island. And I have a pink hat on, and my son has a lime green shirt, and our other son has, you know, a dark navy jacket. So I just thought to bring out the little bit of pink in my hat, and I'm in this photo so I can glam it up with flowers if I want. And I added some black and white. As you can see, I made a frame for on top of my base page. And then I also did a frame out of black for the photo. And I decided to make some layers behind the photo. I'm kind of new at it. I'm learning, and the more I do, the better I can be at it, or I feel I'm getting better at it. So I will encourage you at this point to, if you see something that somebody does that you really like, try it and try it again. And if you don't like it the first 6 times, try it again. So I have kind of dry fit my pieces on here, and I'm pulling in some of the flowers that I sent in the mystery envelope. And there's this little piece of, I think it's New England ivy cardstock, and it was one of those things that was on my desk when I was making these packages, and I'm like, you know, I'm gonna send this because sometimes we like to have leaves behind our flowers. So here again, I'm just trying to audition the different pieces. I feel like I'm gonna need some more pink down in the lower corner to kind of get it into the thirds, but I haven't figured out how to do that yet. So now, as I'm starting to glue together my layers, I realize, oh, some of these flowers are tucked in underneath. I'm gonna fussy cut them out. So that's what you just saw me doing. And then I can use those now to, again, be more embellishments on this page. So you'll see me fuss with this and move things around here for a while. And I'll talk about the other ladies that participated in this. Like I said, some were from my VIP group, and some were from Artwork from the Heart Facebook group. And that's just a group that is open to anybody. I happen to be the administrator of that group, and it's to share close to my heart products that are used in artwork. So it's just to display the artwork and to talk about the new products or the old products or what you did, or to show off your creations with close to my heart things. And if you're not a part of that, please join in. But when I put out the call in there of, hey, I'm gonna have a few extra envelopes open, does anybody wanna participate? I got another 5 or 6 people from there that wanted to join in, and 3 of the gals have YouTube channels and said, hey, I can make a video too. So instead of just sending me photos of what they did, they're going to also have a process video, and you'll get to hear what they thought when they opened this mystery envelope. So like I said, I'm just fussing here with all the flowers and the pieces that I fussy cut out of that, I want to say serendipity, but it's Serenity papers. It was one of my favorite papers, and it sold out. I was so sad, but I was really happy that I had purchased as much as I did, so that I do still have some to tap into from time to time. So as you can see here, I'm putting my layered photo matting down, and spoiler alert, I am going to have to peel that back up with the Cricut spatula. But you know, that's just what we do in scrapbooking. There's no mistakes, just embellishment opportunities, or, you know, prying up to put back down again. And as I'm putting these on, I remember I was thinking, oh, I need a spot to journal. There's not a lot to journal with this particular photo. So I just thought I would do this little spot here under kind of where it's bridged in between the two sides. It looks like on the screen that the lines are a little off, but it's just because my lighting in this new studio is currently, it washes things out, and I apologize for that. I haven't picked my lighting yet. I have started doing research, but currently right now I have a big old printer on my desk, so I don't even think I could craft if I wanted to. And we're in transition, and it's all a work in progress, but we're getting there one day at a time. So now I have those lines on there for journaling, and that gives me different arenas to use some of the embellishments on. I'm trying to decide if I want to put some leaves through the die cut machine, and so I just set that aside because there is green in his jacket, but it's not that same dark green, so I'm putting that back to the side. And then I'm looking around, and I have this stamp set, and this is the new brushstroke stamp set, and it has some words on it as well as some of the background kind of, I don't know, mixed media faux stamping that you can get out of it. So I picked this. It kind of looks like a petal to me, and I decided to do second generation just to give some inking kind of in the corners around the edges of some of the layered photo image here. And you saw that's where I peeled up my photo mats that I had put down, and the Cricut spatula works great for that. I highly recommend it if you don't already have one in your supplies. You don't even have to have a Cricut to get great use out of it, let me assure you. So there, I'm just picking those up and putting those images in and around the photos, kind of taking a look to see if I need to add any more or if I like it. I decided I liked it, so I'm going to go ahead and try to tack that down. And then I do go back to that brushstrokes stamp set, and it has this little, it's not even a 1 by 1 inch area of splatters, and I just thought that would be kind of neat again to add an accent. So the first time I did second generation, and this time I'm doing full strength of sapphire ink, and you can see how it just gives it a little bit of interest. It I don't know, it makes it from being a really clean, crisp layout to a little more, I don't know, whimsical and shabby chic, but it's not truly shabby chic because it's not fully decked out and grunged up. So I had sent embellishments of these sequins in Wildberry and the color of the year last year, Bluebell, to everybody. And so, because that's the colors of the papers that I sent. So now I'm just auditioning them where I want them to be around the page. And once I decide where their final destination is going to be, I will glue all those down. And I'm trying to decide if I want them to go out into the frame area of the layout or not. And you'll see here, I decide that there's just the wrong colors over there, and so I swap those out. And I'm just trying to kind of take a step back and look at the layout. I decide I like what I'm seeing, so I'm going ahead and gluing all those down. And I didn't have you watch me glue all of that because I do have all the photos of the other ladies' projects at the end to show you what to do. So then from the core catalog, and there's only, today is the last day to order from that. Oh no, you have all of August, excuse me. The new core catalog is out now, but the old core catalog also goes till the end of August. So there's actually 3 catalogs that you can order things from. And then stamp sets are available for a year after they're published. So from the 2021 core catalog, they have this Perfectly Imperfect pattern stamp set. And I use it all the time to give that mixed media distressed background. So I pulled out the little hearts that, it's just a row of 7 or 8 hearts along the bottom, and I'm going to stamp those all around the edge of the white sheet. And again, I'm not going to have you watch me do all of that, but I use this piece of paper kind of to mask off where I don't want the hearts, and so I did that around all 4 sides, and it really just brought it to life and made it look nice. So now I have all these pieces left, and I decided I am going to be an overachiever and create a card as well as the single page layout. So I'm just doing some dry auditioning. Of course, this is a slimline base, and I'm adding the black cardstock and a little bit of white, and I'm going to trim these pieces down so that it's a more narrow of the black. I want it to pop but not necessarily overpower. So again, just with these little tiny pieces I have left, I was squaring off that rectangle, and now I'm going to make two banners that kind of will slide in. It looks like they go from top to bottom, but that just kind of helps give an anchor for what's on your card. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but sometimes having things go ahead and touch the two edges helps bring your eye into your focal point. And my focal point is going to be this cluster of the flowers that were left over. So with this card, again, it's going to be a lot of just watching me audition the pieces and how I want them on there. And the the daisies, if you haven't seen me make them, I have a playlist where I show the creating of 3D flowers, and daisies are one of my favorites. It's real easy. It's just a punch, or you can use a Cricut cutout of a mum, and then I take my piercing tool and I pinch the petals from the daisy or the mum around my piercing tool just to give it a little bit of interest, and then I glue the two offset and pop dot that center circle. So now I'm going to adhere all the pieces generally in the area that I had auditioned them. It's not always perfect, but I have an idea of where I'm going with it. Sometimes when I do a lot of fussing and I find something that's just absolutely perfect and I feel like if I move it, it's not gonna be nearly as good, I will go ahead and snap a photo on my phone and then just use that as a reference point. And I got a whole bunch of glue on those opened leaves, so instead of just putting one down, I went ahead and dipped the other two leaves into the first one. And off camera, I cut finally that New England ivy with some leaves and a thin cut. And then this Thankful is also a thin cut, and it's 2 layers, and I cut that off camera and glued them together. And I'm really liking this, how this is coming together. And again, gonna audition some sequins, see where I want them, what colors, how many. I'm gonna avoid the bluebell ones in general, just because I don't have any of that color. I use those flowers on the layout. And then here what I do is I kind of audition the sequins and I push them out of the way, put the glue dot down, and then put them right back in place. And that's what I find works really well for me. And I do like that Tombow green lidded glue just because it dries a little tacky. Now if you were one of the lucky people and got this stamp set from the, I can't even think of the name of it, but it was one of my favorite paper packs. It was called In Full Bloom. I had to go look that up for you. Their card kit had this beautiful thin cut and stamp set, and so I use that all the time. So there's my 2 projects, and now we're going to transition into Cindy's, and I just did these alphabetically. Cindy said that she wanted the daisy to be front and center on the wallet style card, so she used a blue cardstock for the base and added 2 pattern paper edged with distressed oxide. Card, she used a wild berry cardstock to make the double fold card base, and then she lined the pockets with the blue. She also used the pink pattern paper to die cut some of the leaves, and she stretched the green paper by cutting half leaves and tucking them into the flowers. Very clever, Cindy. Great job. So now we have Deb's card, and she colored in some of the papers, and she also used the pop-up card as her base. She wrote that she used everything that I sent, and it's a 60th birthday card for her sister-in-law. Isn't this fun? Just the candles, the balloons, she added all of that. She colored in those flowers. I mean, it's gorgeous. Here's the first of Judy's card, and she used some shimmer brush and really took advantage of the shimmer trim that was sent and just made these 2 lovely cards. Great job, Judy. And now we have Lorna, and she was an overachiever and did a double-page layout celebrating her 3 oldest grandchildren all graduated high school this year. So she was showing how she used the splatter shimmer brush technique and also made this card, decorated the inside, and kudos, she also did a matching coordinating envelope like I did. Now moving into Robin's layout, those were the tools that she used. And anything that you see here that's orange cardstock in, like this title and behind the mats, the photo mats, is actually white daisy cardstock that Robin inked up. So good job thinking outside the box. Love the splatters, love the shimmer mist and the Dana Weekly gloss sprays, I'm guessing. Just a fantastic job. And these are kind of the profiles of her kids in the photos. Next we have Sue's creation, and she was trying those circle S patterns that she'd seen on other people's layouts. So she dovetailed some of the patterns. She made this beautiful S with those circles. Really took advantage of those flowers to highlight those photos. Like I said, there's 3 more videos for you to check out. So Mel, Michelle, and Ashley, and their links will be in the description under my video. Thanks for watching. This was so much fun. Thanks to everybody that participated. This is how you can catch up with me on social media. Blessings to everybody. Thank you.